All right, so let's go out and check out this video meme my friend sent me. Okay, well, that was kind of interesting. Okay, so I guess what our little meme is asking us is, are corporate journalists people? Well, with such a controversial premise, I figured I'd ask somebody to argue into the affirmative on that one. Unfortunately, no one was willing to take up the defense of corporate journalists. Corporate journalists aren't people. I checked on the definition of people. One take on the word is the mass of a community as distinguished from a special class. Maybe this isn't so far from reality in some minds, even more so in the past. Journalists were considered the fourth estate. The original three estates were considered the nobility, the clergy, and the people, and this was the European take on how society was organized and split up. In France, under the absolute monarchy, the estates were literal houses of the ancient parliament system. Be the fourth estate, a term the corporate journalists took as their own, would be a deliberate choice by journalists to make themselves not of the people. The best way to make humor not funny is to intellectually analyze it. That which is humorous is an emotional reaction. It is the subconscious, unfettered by logic and reason, reacting to imagery or assertions. Freud claimed that our enjoyment of the joke indicates what is being repressed in more serious talk. Freud argued that the success of a joke depends upon a psychic economy whereby the joke allows one to overcome inhibitions. So if this meme makes us laugh, it infers that it is pointing at a truth. I think the idea that there was once a venerated fourth estate, and in the lifetime of many people, this veneration has turned to contempt, is a partial source of this humorous truth. The idea that journalists are subhuman or barely human, as mentioned in the meme, is at least an exaggerated expression of how far the so called fourth estate has removed itself from the people, rather than an actual suggestion of them being some form of Untermensch. The fall from grace of the fourth estate merits a little exploration. Many in the older generations will speak to you fondly of a time when corporate media was honest, unbiased, and a practical source for information. As our British cousins would say, bollocks. The corporate media is part of the American establishment. Big pieces of it are the government bureaucracy, the universities, and the corporate media itself. These entities constantly strive to control how information is interpreted. Government bureaucrats try to influence what universities should teach. The universities create organic curriculum influenced by the government, corporate media. The government and the corporate media then bring in new employees from the university system. The establishment has many more facets, and this is far more complex than this. But this is a simplification for understanding our late great fourth estate. The 1940s through the end of the 1960s was a period of incredible stability for our establishment. All elements of the establishment were able to stay on the same message, and with that were able to telegraph confidence and competence. Corporate journalism during this time seemed to be truthful and accurate. It was able to do so by sticking with the narrative the bulk of the rest of the establishment agreed with. Also, this is the groundwork for our fourth estate concept. The corporate journalists were, in fact, a fourth branch of the ruling establishment. Since the late 1960s to the current day, instability has been increasing. This results in multiple narratives. When corporate media is wedded to a particular element of the establishment, they back one narrative as wholly factual and the other narratives as completely false. This is problematic when no narrative is completely true. Defending the one narrative puts corporate journalists in a position to where they look like they're lying a great deal of the time. Corporate journalists are carrying out the same role they always have, that of being the mouthpiece of the establishment. In the decades of stability, this won them accolades and respect. Today, it causes the people to look upon corporate journalists with derision. So, did anyone else spot that meme out there before I did? I thought it was, I don't know, it hit me a certain way. Uh, what do you think? Is the media uh, always been the way it is now? It's just easier to see because of the way information is broken up. Please hit the like button. If you have reached this via the YouTube algorithm, please consider subscribing. Check out my other titles. I do a lot of different things. And if you know someone who might find this interesting, please share it with them. Thank you for spending time with me this evening. Hope to see you again in a future video.